Hey, what's up, everybody? I am your host for this episode of Nico Show. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. I am your host, NikoTheLegend, and it has been a good length of not really doing a show. Yeah, that's my fault on that one. Actually, to be completely honest, well, let's just say I did a few Nico Hangout shows and I did some gaming news on that. I believe I did, but YouTube can't see that. Only Twitch followers. Do apologize for that. And I don't know why I slack so hard. I think I just forgot to do an actual Nico show episode. So I do apologize for that. Like I said, it's been 3 weeks. But anyways, good morning. Good morning. And you know the drill. We go through my personal life, and then we go through my gaming life, and then we go to the game news. And there's a few good ones and a couple. Can only do so much, you know. But it'll be interesting nonetheless. I'll try to do my best. Anyways, folks, let's just start right away, as NikoTheLegend would like to do normally. Before I go, I'd like to thank everyone who has watched that Mass Effect, not Mass Effect, BioWare's Anthem, How It Went Wrong video. It's about 50 minutes long, but it's definitely worth knowing all the information that I read to you in that long ass article, because there's a lot of good information in that, and I feel that it's important that you guys should know all that information because it's a damn good article. So educate your mind. Don't be shy. Take the time. It takes about close to an hour to read. It's pretty long, but I usually read faster. I read faster, like without speaking. With speaking, it took me about an hour. Because when you're reading in your mind, your corrections are not as noticeable. You just kind of skim through it. But reading it aloud is a lot different process. But nonetheless, check out the video, and thanks to everybody else who watched it or at least tried to get through it. It is pretty long. And then don't forget to look at the NikoTheLegend LPs, the Let's Plays on the channel. I know they LPs. Let's Plays for on YouTube is kind of a thing in the past, but I kind of like living in the past when it comes to LPs because they're a ton of fun to do. And it's a good time to hang out and play different video games with your friends, like with Dayton Does Gaming or Dr. Decessa. So thanks to you guys, we've been having a blast playing these games. And, I'm going to keep doing it. I know I mentioned before that maybe like half a year ago I was going to stop doing LPs because they really don't get me anything for views. But that was also because I was pretty addicted to YouTube. I was uploading way too many things, making too many videos in terms of, this style compared to this style. And it was kind of stressing me out a little bit. So now I'm just like, I like to be super casual. As you can tell, I missed 3 weeks of doing a Nico show episode. So that's I guess I took advantage of that. And then, streaming on Twitch is... I guess this can tie into personal life stuff. So anyway, streaming itself on Twitch has taken up I wouldn't say a good chunk of my time because I don't stream really ever longer than 4 hours unless it's some big release game or premiere release, or if I'm just having a ton of fun with the game, and I don't feel much time constraint. Because when you have two jobs, you kind of decide to sort things out a lot better. But I'm still able to play games though, so I'm not gonna just pretend like I don't play anything at all. And it's like, oh, my life's too important to sit down and look at a screen. Please. I think our cell phones still take up the most time. Most time. But yes. So yeah, that kind of the whole streaming on Twitch thing it kind of has taken over the YouTube thing for the most part. I still like to do those informative videos for you guys. I mean, they haven't been getting that many views lately, and I don't know. Maybe people are just not looking up that stuff anymore. It's just not topical as much as it used to. I mean, nobody really gives a shit about Anthem, to be honest. I think people just don't care about knowing the nitty-gritty about its development. They just know it sucks, and it's true. But that article definitely backs up all those claims for sure. And with YouTube, I'm gonna keep going with it. You know, I'm at 422 subscribers. You know, I hope to get to 500. You know, getting to 500 by the end of the year would be pretty good. And then I don't know, maybe it'll actually finally take off somehow. Just progressively go a lot faster over time. That's what I'm always hoping for, is that lucky break that I just overnight I wake up and I have 100 more subscribers or something, because someone mentioned, like some big time YouTuber mentioned me in one of their videos or something, or Watch Mojo liked Let's Play that I've been, I don't know, you know, shit like that, like they did for Dayton for his Morrowind playthrough role play. Let's see, anything else personal life? Yes, I do have it was going to be a dinner date, which is upcoming Tuesday, and is with a lady that I work with. Super cute, she's pretty fit, and you know, she seems to have a pretty decent personality. You know, just the first impression and the common things that you look forward in another person. And it's like, yeah, I could see myself going on a date with her. So I asked her on a date, and then I get told that she's seen someone, but you know, that's fine, I guess. So not doing the dinner thing, but going on a lunch thing, and she seemed legitimately, you know, pretty genuine on knowing about personal training stuff, because she's getting certified for personal training this coming week, and she wants to talk to me about that and stuff. So that's pretty great. Yeah, spoilers. It's gonna be a separate tab. Lol. That's going pretty good, and then training is going pretty decent. You know, I still don't have the amazing client list that people already have there that have been working there for so long, but I still train people. You know, I'm training people officially and unofficially, so that's fine with me. You know, I'm training about 3 people unofficially and then 1 person officially, and then I get the orientations. But you know what? Making any kind of buck wherever you go is fine with me. It's not a big deal. You know, it takes time. I only started in last October. I'm not in a private studio, which some people are, to where they can get the exclusive deals and not have to worry about people just working out by themselves. When they go into studio, they're legitimately wanting to have a trainer. That's how you get the big bucks. But with me, I'm at an actual gym and everything, and people like to do their own thing, and then people like to have trainers. So it's not an uncommon thing for someone not to want a trainer. I mean, a lot of the times it's just the same people over and over that those trainers have. So you'll definitely get a lot of the same people you're training. But still going pretty good. I'm still writing in my novel. Every time that I'm working on the weekend at the hospital, when there's downtime, I always write. I at least write like half a page each time I'm there, you know, as much information as I can get. And, you know, it might be better to write at home because I have the free time usually, but, you know, I like to make my time useful when I'm at work, so I'm not completely bored out of my mind. Although I'm never really bored there, but you get the idea. Okay, if I forget to mention anything for personal life, I guess you guys won't ever know that unless it's me. Oh, yes. Can't wait to get the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie that's coming out. And I also just ordered Overlord Season 1 on Blu-ray on eBay. So those are 2 big anime things I can't wait to get in the mail. That's gonna. I love both the movie and the Overlord series. It's pretty great. And the Broly movie. Okay, let's go into gaming. All right, so 3 weeks. Let's just say that I am playing Sekiro: Shadow Dies Twice, a game made by From Software and published by Activision, and the game is hard as shit. Wow, who would have thought that, right? A lot of raging, and I did try to stream it a few times. And let me just tell you, I'm not gonna stream it anymore. It's too much stress for me to stream, and I don't like backseat gamers when it comes to that type of game, because people think it's easy just saying, hey, why don't you just do this, this, and that? I'm like, yeah, I get that. But this game is not as... You can't just implement that and it's going to work right away. You have to still... Anybody who's played a From Software game for Bloodborne and Dark Souls knows that it's not easy just to implement those simple strategies. It's a whole lot more of a process. So if you've never played a From Software game or a Bloodborne, Dark Souls game, you're never going to know truly what it takes to beat these bosses. And Sekiro is no different. Despite Sekiro being a little bit more advanced with combat and everything, but it's still a pretty hard as shit game. The game is pretty fun though. There is a couple things that I don't like about it. I don't like some of the AI is like stupid smart in that game, and then some of the combat isn't as fluent as it should be sometimes. Sometimes combos don't connect, or you're trying to the input doesn't like kick in when you're trying to slash an enemy. Sometimes it gets a little clunky or clumsy. But I mean, that's a minor thing. The stupid smart AI is also a minor thing. Those are just a few gripes that I have. But other than that, the world building, the level design, the characters, the voice acting, the graphics, mainly the game, all amazing. Ton of fun. Challenging as heck, of course. But I'm still playing that. And then, actually, I recently picked up the Old Republic, so that's a lot of fun with Tomato TCG. Him and I are both on the Sith side. I am his master. He is his squishy apprentice. And yeah, I've been playing the Old Republic again, which is really, fun as shit game. Great MMO. The game I was streaming it, and I had Drake Endra watching, and he thought the game looked so interesting that he downloaded the game that day when I first started streaming. So that just gives you an idea of how cool that MMO is. And I highly recommend it for you guys to pick it up again, or play it for the first time. You won't be disappointed. That game is so much fun. It's in my top 10, one of my favorite games of all time. And that's a lot coming from NikoTheLegend, some late 80s and 90s kid, Anything else for gaming? Yes, I am playing Tales of Vesperia on the Switch every now and then when I have an RPG binge with my friends that come over. Still playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and waiting for Joker. Eventually, I will be streaming Lost Odyssey once I'm done with Sekiro. So in the meantime, I'll just be mainly streaming the Old Republic and then some things like Hangout streams every now and then this. I do want to get that Super Dragon Ball Heroes game for the Switch that came out. I know Ace Attorney Trilogy is coming out. I would like to get that, but I'm gonna try to wait on that for a while. Waiting for Final Fantasy IX to have a sale on the Switch because I don't want to spend $21 just yet. Oh yeah, and anything else? So can't wait for Super Mario Maker 2 to come out soon. It comes out next month. Mortal Kombat 11. I can't wait to play that at the end of this month. I'm sure there's a couple other games I forgot to mention. So one last thing about the personal life. I am saving up to go on a trip to New Zealand because who wants to go to New Zealand to see the beautiful vistas, despite their gun laws being really, really dumb recently. And then, it's a shame about that shooting that happened. But other than that, I can't wait to actually go there and explore the world's backcountry roads and just going hiking and just feeling the great weather going on the other side of the world. It's going to be fun. So I'm saving up money for right now. Almost there. Those ticket prices are pretty damn expensive for just a week. And another thing is that also going on a trip to Idaho to help my dad build a cabin on a property he's been owning for the past 30 years that I had no idea about until last year. So that's going to be fun. We're going to be there for a week. We're also going to be going to Glacier Park on the trip. It's only the Glacier Park is only 5 hours away from where the cabin's being built, so that's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of great exploration. I can't wait to go on those big hike trails. If you guys have not seen Glacier Park, well, you're missing out. You should check that out. Okay, so without further ado, wow, let's see. I'm telling you, the more I wait on doing these shows, the more time I waste on catching up. But we're about to get to the gaming news stuff, okay? So I appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, check out my channel on YouTube, NikoTheLegend. Check out those Let's Plays. You'll get a kick out of it. Dr. DeSesto and Dayton Does Gaming. We all have a good time. And then check me out on this channel more often. Follow. All right. Okay. So our first article is, of course, is something from IGN. Actually, we got 4 articles from IGN. And I say it every damn time. I always just go easy mode and look up things that IGN talks about, and sometimes they have interesting things. But the rest, the last half of the articles are just from Google searching. So let's do it. And this one, I'm just going to start out as a fun article, nothing controversial. It's just games releasing this week. We got Dangerous Drive on April 9th on PS4, Xbox One, PC. We got The Phoenix which I'm really excited about, is the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy on April 9th on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. But you know what? I actually might get it on PlayStation 4 because I really do want the trophies. Lol, lol, lol. I was going to get it on the Nintendo originally, but you know what? I don't know. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove gets new content on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC. More games launching next week. That's Neo Atlas and Zenki Zero, and then April 11th, Earth Defense Force, and then Shadowgate. That's about it for the week of, for April 8th, coming out. I guess the only really main one I'm excited about is Ace Attorney because it was only released on the 3DS, but now the whole trilogy is coming to consoles, which is badass. I think Ace Attorney is a great gaming gift for a game that you can gift to anybody. They'll enjoy it. I just say that because it just popped in my head. Nothing too significant about it, but it's one of those detective games, solving mysteries and all that, and just being a smart little attorney you are. And Phoenix Wright would be a pretty cool addition in the Smash roster. I'm sure people have already thought about that. This is definitely a franchise that's a bit underrated too, since it was only released on the 3DS. So it's great that it's getting multiple platform releases. That is really cool. I kind of hope there be a physical copy, but I think it's just digital. I don't know. Maybe if it makes enough money, they'll do physical. But then why would I want to buy it then? Yeah, it's all on the stores. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the next article is, oh boy, we haven't touched this game in a while. You'll see. Oh, player unknown doesn't want to make PUBG 2. I've done Battle Royale. It's time to try something else. Yeah. Let me just tell you, Brendan Green. Yeah, we dabbled with Battle Royale, and although the game is still really fucking glitchy and clunky and it looks like ass, yeah, I think I'm done for now. Yeah, this game was definitely a cash grab. When you get games that actually work and play without those bullshit glitches like Blackout Mode, Fortnite, Apex Legends, it's amazing why people still play PUBG. Go back to this. I'm telling you, if you play Blackout from Call of Duty Black Ops 4 or Apex Legends, you will never go back to playing PUBG because PUBG is definitely inferior when it comes to technical issues, graphics, and gameplay. It's just, look, let's just say that PUBG was not even completely done or fixed, that they had to release a campaign trying to fix the game as of last year. When you have to do that, I mean, just come on, people. Have you seen the the release of it on the Xbox One back in the day? Oh my God, that was just, they released that game without even fixing the original PC version. Those scumbags. This is coming from a guy who spent at least over 100 hours playing this game, and that was it. That was it. Now I occasionally enjoy Blackout mode, and because Blackout is just plays so much nicer, and it's just such a fun take on the Battle Royale. But now that's even in the past. Now it's all about Apex Legends. I really don't like Apex Legends that much, to be honest. I like sticking to the less sci-fi type approach. But anyway, I don't know. Let's read this stupid article. It's stupid the way you read, Nico, because I'm stupid. Has recently discussed his decision to stop working directly on PUBG. You mean when the game first came out, and how he doesn't see himself making PUBG 2, as according to him, he's done Battle Royale. It's time to try something else. In an interview with GameIndustry.try.biz, this is industry, not yeah. At GDC, Green opened up about how the last 2 years have been an insane ride, with some highlights including the incredible success of PUBG, securing a temporary exclusive deal with Xbox, and changing the gaming landscape and paving the way for other Battle Royales like Fortnite, Apex, and Blackout. Speaking of these other competitors to PUBG, Green states that he loves seeing the growth of the Battle Royale genre. It's been wonderful, and there's more coming. It's a good genre that has space to grow. Last man standing death matches. There are so many different takes you can have on that. I'm still waiting for a For Honor Battle Royale, something with big knives. Hey, me too. They have the reins of Battle Royale. They know what PUBG and our Battle Royale is. They understand what we want from the game, what we want to do with it, moving forward. So I saw it as a good chance for me to announce special projects. I think he's working on an RPG, right? PUBG special projects will be Green's next adventure And while the whole project's still very much in the early stages, it allows Green to have the freedom to create as he did when he was coming up with the mods that would eventually lead to PUBG. As for what this new game would be, Green wants to explore online experiences and how to connect people in ways that we haven't really done before, which appears to indicate it may not be as competitive as PUBG prides itself on. Perhaps most interesting, he revealed that he doesn't really intend to make PUBG PUBG 2, and he feels that it's time to create and work on something new. The last man standing concept is great, but I've done that. Green said, I really don't intend to make PUBG 2. I've done Battle Royale. It's time to try something else. There are ideas about how we connect to people and how we provide the different experiences I have. After creating a mega hit like PUBG, some would feel immense pressure to create another big thing, the next big thing, and Green feels so lucky to work with PUBG Corp. As they aren't pressuring him to do so, they want him to experiment and create without any added pressure. We're not doing this for profit, Green explains. Oh, is that so? Eventually, someday we may do, but right now it's just about having time to explore. There is no deadline here. This is us with a few years to play. Gaming in the industry has become so hard that it's very lucky to have. We've generally explored and be curious for some time. Listen. Well, okay, let's go back to this. We're not doing this for profit. It's really hard. Look, I'm not basing this on a game's success entirely, like how much money they make. You know, that's great. Maybe they didn't know they're going to make this much money, you know. That's fine. That could be a genuine, like, whoa, surprise. But when you're releasing a timed exclusive on a console, a shit poor version of the game of another shit poor version that's on the PC, and you don't spend the time to fix that game completely, yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're doing it for profit. Give me a break. But it's like, well, NIKO, how come they haven't released it on PS4 and the Switch? Timed exclusive, people, and there's been rumors about it being on the PS4, so suck it. I'm just saying. Don't tell me that making millions and millions, billions and billions of dollars doesn't have some molding to your game design after a while. They were like, oh yeah, we're making a fuck ton of money. Let's make some more money by releasing half-baked shit. Yeah. And then he's moving on making other stuff because, I mean, why not? I appreciate that he wants to dabble in other things, which is great, but you know what? He's leaving a project that's not even really fixed. I don't know how I just strongly feel about that, but I mean, if the game is working fine for you guys, fine. That's good. If it works well enough, but sometimes, you know, being a diehard, try-hard fanboy of a game just really, really overlaps what you truly see in gaming quality. So try not to get all emotionally butthurt when your game is actually a piece of shit in terms of technical and graphical issues. I mean, I dare challenge somebody out there who thought when the Xbox version came out, they thought it was a great iteration and port of the game. Please, come at me, bros. But yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about that. If you haven't played a Battle Royale game, don't worry about it. It's a high stress environment. It's super competitive. If you're looking for a casual experience, Battle Royale is not for you, as the title suggests. You're better off just playing single player games, adventure games, or your standard FPS multiplayer shooters, like Call of Duty or Halo or something like that. Anyway, all right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so we know how much we love Bethesda and its shitty store. Just kidding. Let's see here. Oh, what do you know? The Elder Scrolls Blades Early Access opens up. Now, if you remember at the EA press conference of last year, there's been a ton of news that opened up for Bethesda, like the new Starlight game that they're working on. I think it's called Starlight. A futuristic sci-fi role-playing game that they're working on. Elder Scrolls 6. Fallout 76. Big fucking mistake. And then Elder Scrolls Blades, which they were strongly proud of, which everyone thought that this was the next Elder Scrolls game. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. Bethesda has announced that early access to the mobile game is a mobile game. Elder Scrolls Blades is open up to anyone with a Bethesda.net account, which is probably about 90% of the people that don't have it. The Elder Scrolls Blades, the upcoming mobile entry in the long-running action RPG franchise, officially enters early access today. That's pretty cool. Announced in a tweet from the official, the Elder Scrolls Twitter account, Bethesda is bringing players to Blades in ways via email invitations. The official fact for Blades confirmed early access is available on IO. Okay, whatever. Blades was announced during Bethesda's E3 2018 press conference and was originally slated for a 28 release by November, has been delayed by early 2019. Geez, I wonder why. For fans of the main franchise, The Elder Scrolls 6 was also announced during E3 2018, though it will be likely be coming to the next generation consoles. You know what's funny? Okay, it's great. Yay, a phone game. Woo! Just like Diablo Immortals. Wow, so cool. Great. Oh, God. PUBG for your phone. Whoa! That was already done. You know, it's just... People are... I understand developers like Nintendo and Bethesda really like to dabble into the iOS or the mobile type thing and make some good, sweet cash. But don't you think if you didn't make Fallout 76... Fallout 76 and this game, we probably would have gotten Elder Scrolls 6 by next year. Right? Right? Come on. Come on. Think about it. Fallout 76 is a pretty huge game despite how fucking broken it was. It still took a lot of time to make, even though it was half-baked. And then you got this mobile game. You know, you split the assets, the resources. I mean, Jesus Christ. Why do we get 2 Fallout games in a row, Bethesda? Why? Fallout 4 was, let Fallout 4 do its thing still. People are still playing the shit out of the game and modding it and all that. Just like Elder Scrolls. I mean, I guess I could say that about Elder Scrolls 5. But Elder Scrolls 5, it's been since 2011. You know how many re-releases we got in this fucking game? And then we get blamed for it, re-releasing. Like, please, please, you know that you could have made an Elder Scrolls 6 already. You would have done it by now. But you just the Skyrim franchise is cash cow at this point. It's like Resident Evil 4 that gets always a re-release on every single console that comes out. I don't get why Capcom still likes banking on that shit. But I digress. I don't know how you guys feel about Elder Scrolls Blades. It looked pretty interesting. I'm sure it might play well, but I don't like playing these massive adventure RPG games on a fucking phone. I don't. It's bad enough we had to do it with a Game Boy, okay? With a phone, it's just, oh, no. Just with me, it's just no. I have a Switch. I don't mind doing the Switch because the screen is big enough. I mean, I know you got phones that are big enough for a good, but at least with the Switch, I can go into the dock mode. I can't go into dock mode with a phone connected to a TV, unless maybe, maybe that does exist. I don't know. But come on. Come on. But for people that do get it, I hope it does work out for you. I hope it's a fun dungeon crawling game. I really do. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that if Elder Scrolls 6 wasn't coming out this year, it would definitely come out next year. Or it would have come out when Fallout 76 came out. It seriously would have. If they didn't do all these re-releases for Skyrim, they didn't... Fallout 4 is fine. You know, I get it. The next installment for the Fallout franchise. It has been a while for that game, but then you know you have that, and then you should just at the same time you're working on Elder Scrolls 6. But no, all those re-releases, Elder Scrolls Blades, Fallout 76. I mean, god damn it, Bethesda, why? This doesn't make any sense, people. This money is seriously, it's got to be money, the driving factor these days for gaming. I mean, maybe it always has been. We just back in the day, maybe we thought that way, but as a kid, I didn't fucking think that way. I was like, oh, new game, wow, look, it's great. And the internet was such a baby at the time that it was more about curiosity and just picking up a game you saw at the video rental store. And hope to God that it was worth it. And then you go out and buy the damn game. Now it's just so many different ways to just play these games and so many different platforms, you know? Well, I think the only added platform, I guess 2. You got the VR now, and then you got the mobile scene. But the mobile scene has been there for a very long time. But you know, it's being monopolized, just like everything else. All right, enough about that. Elder Scrolls 6, god damn it, I wish it would come out already, and it probably won't come out for the next 2 or 3 years. So fuck my life. My life's ruined. Okay. Sekiro, accessibility in games is about far more than difficulty. All right. So let's just say this. Maybe after this, I'm done reading this, I'll understand the rational thought. But if this is just based on the game is just too hard, man, just get good, bro. How did you fucking people survive playing your little weak ass games? Oh my god, I really like playing my Minecraft and Roblox. That's really fun. Yeah, that's right. I buy Fortnites. Wow. Anybody can play that game. I'm like, maybe Sekiro is just not meant for you. And that doesn't mean it's just not accessible to you, to your demographic of being shitty at the game, or not knowing how to adapt to strategies and boss strats and kicking the shit out of big bosses. You know, just this has been around for so long, people. I mean, you don't even have to. It doesn't even have to be a From Software game. What about the masochists who play games on the hardest difficulty, like Halo 1 Legendary Mode or Halo 2 Legendary Mode? I mean, come on. You play those games and it's like, this isn't accessible. This is stupid. Come on. This game is just built already on a hard mode, and that's fine with me. That's fine with me. You know what? Do you think people, really bitch that much about the original Nintendo being that fucking hard? Have you played those games, kids? You gotta know your roots, son. Let's see. Difficulty in games is entirely relative to individual players. Yeah, that means it's subjective. What's ultra hard and unplayable for one is too easy and boring for another, meaning it's a construct of the realities that game designers create, delicately tailored to the perceptions of their audience. And accessibility, my focus as a consultant on games, working with AAA developers like Guerrilla to indies like Gambrinius, is an area of game design that often deeply misunderstood. It's about barriers, not difficulties. So by focusing on difficulty modes, we might miss wider opportunities of being able to welcome more players because they perceive any number of barriers to playing well or paying/stress-free as difficulty. I'm here not just telling an expert trying to shed some light, but also as a passionate fan of grueling games like Souls, likes who wouldn't want to see any of their defining qualities diminished. Yes! Here's the thing. The game's designed to be punishing. This is the sole purpose of it. You little pussies who want an easy mode for these games, go fuck yourself. Go fucking play a different game. Why? You mean to tell me that your curiosity decided to pick up Sekiro or Dark Souls, and it's like, oh, this game's stupid. It's way too. I'm like, you should have known and done the research before going in. But like I said before, it kind of contradicts curiosity. That's fine. Good for you. Just know that this game is designed to be this punishing. It's not stupid hard. It's not stupid hard. It's intelligently hard. Okay, it's designed to be this hard. It's on purpose. It's not broken, stupid hard. Like some games out there that they're just designed to really piss you off. But no, this is not the case. Before I launched into the thick of it, oh god, this is actually a long article. Oh fuck my life. All right, what have I done to myself? Before I launch into the thick of it, it's important I explore why I like punishing myself so much with said grueling games. It's fundamental to understand why on earth anyone else would want that. I have physical and cognitive disabilities with overly complicated medical names, but it boils down to muscle strength and pain. My joints dislocate and I injure easily. I've had strokes that affect things like memory along with brain fog, and I'm also autistic and have ADHD which all affect my ability to process any kind of information, organize tasks, and think quickly. Because play any kind of game isn't just a physical task, it's but a cognitive one too. So I'm disabled and I completed Bloodborne solo, beating most bosses in around 2 to 5 attempts. It was an intensely emotional experience, harrowing at times, uplifting, damning, terrifying, beautiful, shocking, and painful. It's a method of storytelling that's unique, affecting, and quite indescribable. For me, this is the heart of Souls-like games, and it draws me in again and again. The Surge is the only game in 30 plus years of playing games that I've completed 3 times. Quite the statement for a player with ADHD. Wow. He really liked The Surge. That's great. The Surge is a pretty great game, too. That's a great RPG. It's a truly fascinating psychological and physical journey because there's more to it. It's the intimate relationship between mechanics and story. The stories at their core are always about transcending the darkest times, beating the odds, and striving to come back from nothing short of desolation. The way the punishing gameplay echoes the storytelling is also commanding. It can only be experienced by playing. Exactly. It's such a simultaneously ugly and beautiful representation of life and existentialism. Existentialism, yeah. For me, these games are special because it's too much like my life. Being disabled is about navigating through the world in a permanent hard mode, constantly facing barriers, threats, and the painful realities of existence. Yet I'm a survivor because I'm human. It says a lot about the concept of difficulty that I can even make that analogy. So you got a disabled person beating Bloodborne, and you guys want a pussy easy mode button. Oh man, this is why Japan made an easy mode for Mega Man 2, because you little whiny bitches. Sure, there are some things I can't do, and that's okay. It's life for everyone. But for disabled people, we often can't join in because no one thought of us. It's unbearably isolating and sad to be faced with other people's palpable joy and camaraderie when you have to watch from the sidelines. Again, it's always not. It's not. It's always. It's also not always an all or nothing situation of can or can't. Sometimes doing the thing is painful or extra exhausting. So yes, I completed Bloodborne, but in doing so, I was left with hand injuries that took months to heal. Holy crap! And I'm not being hyperbolic. Playing exhausted me both mentally and physically and made me hyper aware of my limitations as a disabled player. When a game like Sekiro is released, the discussion often turns to difficulty modes, in part because people want to join in a healthy way that works for their needs. Oh, God, no! You fucking millennials, stop it! We want equality! I want everything! I want it to be where I want to play! I don't want to try to get good at a game! I don't want to practice! I don't like this! God, whiny little bitches. They're tired of being shut out completely or being made to feel inadequate because of their limitations. They desperately want to be a part of the hype. Missing out on the latest big deal really hurts, especially when it happens as often as it does for disabled people. Okay, for disabled people, I get it. Okay, I understand that. But for people who don't have disabilities and they play the game and they just suck at it and bitch and whine and they want it to have an easy mode, okay, guys, some genres aren't meant for you. For me, racing games aren't really meant for me, unless it's Mario Kart. Some other racing games I enjoy. But overall, I hate racing games. Those sport games. Those aren't meant for me. Those are meant for you. So do I go out there and be like, I wish Rocket League had an RPG mode to where I can some more accessibility. I wish online players had a handicap or something because I suck. No, because that really does put a damper on the game's design itself. When you cater to every single demographic, there's no way to make everyone happy. If they decide to make an easy mode for this game, you know how many the people that actually are diehard fans of this game and have stuck around with From Software since the beginning, or yada, they're gonna be fucking pissed they're gonna be fucking pissed that you had to baby these guys who go into this perhaps not knowing that they can't get good or handle the type of gameplay. Nowadays, you have no excuse. You do the research, you understand you have to be a masochist to play these games, to enjoy it, not even to really enjoy it, just to understand how difficult it is. Because it's not just how difficult the game is that makes it so worthwhile, although it's a big chunk of it, but it's also the world building, the characters, the gameplay itself, everything. The difficulty is just cream of the crop. This is what it was designed to be. So like I said, there are so many games out there that you could go play besides Sekiro or the Soulsborne series. So many other games that can cater to your wants and needs. Why are you going to fucking try to insult the game by showing how shitty you are in the game? By wanting an easy mode. By admitting that you want an easy mode, you're proving that you are not able to properly play the game the way it's meant to be played. Now you're just playing it how you selfishly want it to be played. Anyway, with this, here we go. This is great. With the screams of get good comes the fundamental misunderstanding of what accessibility actually is. It is difficulty mode. Is it difficulty modes? That's sometimes a small part of it. Are also just one potential access in which to solve unintentional barriers that disabled and plenty of non-disabled players face. There's not always the best way to solve them. In my job, I've actually encouraged teams to approach the subject with nuance and creativity because there's an affronting misconception that disabled players can just well play on easy. See, like I said, I understand disabled folks that the accessibility is difficult. That is understandable. But you got to also go with how big the demographic is, how big of a population we're talking about. Is it all disabled people or is it just a small portion that feel this way? I don't know the stats. Same with people that aren't disabled, that bitched about an easy mode or difficulty modes. I don't know how big the size of the population. I don't know the sample size. I don't know how many people are bitching about it. There's no charts or anything. But I do know if a developer sees that it's just a small portion of the demographics of people that can't play it accessibly, then they're probably not going to worry too much about it. That's just the way it goes. That's just how it goes. Majority vote. Majority. It's always the majority half the time. It's fine. You can be like this guy and just deal with it. Okay. Hold up. What's an unintentional barrier? Games are, at their core, a set of barriers arranged to create a challenge mixed with the illusion that you're solving all yourself. There are times, however, where developers might not have created barriers we don't realize are there. It's why we playtest and how we ended up accidentally excluding players, especially disabled players who we'd like to include. We deliberately mitigate and remove barriers all the time in course of game design. Sekiro does this through its frequent checkpoint idols and the stealth indicators, for example. But if we don't design and test with the full spectrum of our player base in mind, we'll inevitably have unintentional barriers. This is where accessibility comes in. We work to intentionally include as much of our audience as possible. We may not be able to remove all barriers and still have the game we want to make, and then it comes about making the experience as consistent as possible, as much of our audience as possible. Yeah, so I can understand that this is their way of doing it to make it a little more accessible. It's more of a stealth. You can do stealth type mechanics, so it makes the game a little bit easier. Getting around the world. But bosses themselves require a heavy hand and a patient mind. Okay, a steady hand. And do you really, really want a game that's fully accessible to everyone? It sounds great on paper, but you gotta stop thinking about only yourself too. Okay, you gotta put yourself in their shoes and understand how much pain and suffering a gaming company goes through to make these games, and how hard it is to make it as difficult as possible, or how they make it intelligently difficult. You know how hard it is to make that and still have a ton of people coming back to play these games? It's not easy to make it accessible for those people, for the people that do enjoy the punishment. It's not easy to do that either. Just because we've seen so many iterations of it and the games come out well, it's just because they mastered their craft. It doesn't mean that it's not easy, or that it's easy for them to do. Okay? So they have to focus on the grander scheme of things, on the bigger populations first, and then they can maybe touch up on some of the accessibility issues that people have when it comes to playing games. But like I said, not every game is going to be for you, okay? So that doesn't necessarily mean the game deserves to have this easy mode or something like that. So let's kind of skip through this. There's a lot of this because I still want to go into the other articles before we go. Let's see. From Software has already made strides in accessibility. Has made a lot of improvements to its household formula since its early games, which showed that there's plenty of room and definitely a place for further accessibility. As a fan, it feels like the developers are continuously refining the ultimate experience of persistence. Contrary to popular opinion, I don't think the Souls games are really about skill, but about encouraging people to face their demons, understand the consequence, and keep going. Okay. It is about skill. If you don't have skill in that game, excuse me, then there's no way you're going to beat that game. Okay. That's why it's called repetition and practice. That's how you build skill. Anyway. So it's also probably... It's a whole bunch of things, but saying it's not really about skill is just foolish. Give me a break. There's been a lot of quality of life improvements over From games, as this is a root of accessibility as a concept. Quality of life is about making sure players have a smooth experience and don't burn out before we want them to. This is important for all players, but especially disabled players, as we sometimes have less energy, more pain, or bigger limitations to begin with. For example, since the first Dark Souls, there's been a very subtle but very important nugget of accessibility. Audio sliders have something called sensory processing disorder with sounds and haptics. Okay, so this guy is literally the worst case scenario of being disabled. He's got all these cognitive disabilities and physical disabilities. And this guy still has beaten Bloodborne. Did he ask for an easy mode? No. The boss music in Bloodborne is sublime, but it made the fights nearly impossible for me, so I set the music at 2 out of 10. The sound effects were vital to the cues for moves. So I left those up, but I also turned down the voice because it seemed screams and roars. That was my secret to beating most of the bosses in 2 to 5 attempts. There have been big leaps from Bloodborne to Sekiro alone. The most significant is controller remapping. I can now avoid injury of my hands and make the control scheme more accessible for me. Although sadly the controls do use every single button, so remapping one frequently used action can sacrifice a different one, such as eavesdrop and target lock on enemies via settings. I control my experience in order to make it more accessible to adapt and conquer. All right, where's the conclusion? All right, here we go. Empowerment, understanding, and acceptance. Oh, great. Ultimately, accessibility in games is about empowering as many different types of players as possible to have predefined experiences. Reality dictates that we're not all homogenous, so we all need to change some things in order for it to fit us. We don't all go and buy the same size pair of jeans. Difficulty is a construct, an illusion of game design, and every setting can alter the perceived difficulty for a given player. If the camera sensitivity is too high, it makes someone motion sick. Suddenly, the game is unreasonably difficult, even for someone which, yeah, I get that. It's fine. As a wider community, we also should aim to foster a more welcoming space. It's such an incredible thing to share a profound experience with other people. Isn't it time we start listening to each other and understand what various struggles are? I feel for the people who can't play or hurt too much when they do, because I've been there. Being told something this big, exciting, fun, challenging, wonderful isn't for you hurts deeply, especially when it could be. Okay, who is going out there and actually saying that this game isn't for you? No. Don't blame it. Being told something? No. That is a demon that this person created for himself, because this is what happens when you get limitations like that. We've all had limitations. Me, limitations in the gym, I'm going to have a part of my mind that says, yeah, you can't do it. You're weak. You're not weak. You're not strong at all. What are you doing in here? You suck. You're not going to get strong at all. That's me creating my own demons, because that's what limitations does to you. But being told that this isn't for you, who the fuck in the right mind would say that? I've never had something being difficult from a friend saying, no, you suck. You shouldn't play this game. It's not for you. Granted, I'm not disabled, but that doesn't mean games aren't difficult for me to play. Maybe there's something that I don't like that the control scheme is AIDSy for me. That it's difficult to master or something like that, you know? But saying that, no one has told this person. And if someone has, then that person is a piece of shit. Because I wouldn't negate anybody from playing a game. I'd at least let them try, and if it doesn't work out for them, it doesn't work out for them. Okay, it doesn't work out for them. It doesn't mean that they should. It's like I said, honestly, not all a game can't cater to every kind of population. Okay, you know, if this person was paraplegic or like a Stephen Hawking's or something like that, you know. It's like there's no way. There's just no fucking way you can make an actual proper game like Sekiro accessible for someone like Stephen Hawking, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on. But I do understand, and yeah, I'm trying to understand of this, you know, the limitations. Like I said, completely. This guy has the worst case scenario of everything. So being autistic, he's got mood swings. I get that. He's got some irrational behavior that could just spurt out, and it could be something that he wasn't wanting to think, but he just couldn't help himself, you know. And sometimes that could do it. You could think like that, and then yeah, it can make you think that you're being told that you can't do this. But chances are, majority of the time, no one's going to tell you that you shouldn't play a game that's not meant for you. I haven't, like I said, for me, I haven't anybody telling me that. And then if you tell a disabled person that, yeah, that's pretty heartbreaking. And I understand going with the truth bomb, and the truth hurts, but with video games, where there's a will, there's a way, and there's just so many different kind of games. At least let the person try, you know. But anyway, I don't know. Like I said, there's too many unknowns in this article. Like I said, there's no graphs of showing how much of the population struggles to play as a disabled population that struggles to play these types of games. Especially, and then how many people have complained about accessibility, and then how many people complain about the easy mode. There's just so many things. When you don't have charts or graphs or any stats, then it's really hard to believe this. This is just an emotional response to something, you know? Emotional responses are okay, but if you don't have facts or anything that's actually been proven without any type of, you know, graphs or charts and all that just to prove your statements, it's really hard to believe something like this. And benefit of the doubt can only go so far when it comes to someone being disabled, you know. So it's not being cruel, or it's just, well, I mean, it's just, you know, it's the cold truth, you know. I mean, I've played games that aren't meant for me, and I don't go out there and just be like, hey, because I could just say, oh, this game is telling me it's not meant for, I don't know. You create some reality in your own mind. But like I said, in conclusion, these are how the games are designed. If you don't like it, go play something else. Not every game's meant for you. But if you can push through it and actually understand what this game is trying to do, and you know, trying to get through it and put yourselves in their shoes, show some empathy for fucking From Software, because they spent a lot of time making these games. That's why Bloodborne was a masterpiece. Okay, that's why Sekiro is such a fun, ridiculously great game so far for me, and then why people love Dark Souls so much. So it's not always about you guys. You as in the people that just can't get good. Can't stress that shit enough. I mean, there's a reason why that meme came to be. It wasn't just only a troll, okay? Alright, we can go with this last article. This is great. Alright. So to sum it all up, we have Prince Harry says video game Fortnite is irresponsible and should be banned. Yes, the guy who probably doesn't even play video games is trying to say Fortnite should be banned. You always get the haters out there. Alright, this is great. Alright, Prince Harry isn't a dad yet. He and Meghan Markle are expecting their first child this spring but it already sounds like he might put a limit on how much time his future children spend playing video games. The Duke of Sussex isn't a fan of the massively popular online Fortnite, with the British royal going as far as to call for a ban of the game at the event at the West London YMCA on Thursday. That game shouldn't be allowed. Where's the benefit of having it in your household? Prince Harry all told reporters at the event, according to the BBC. Prince Harry added that he thinks Fortnite is too addictive, especially for young players. Yeah, okay. So you want to ban freedom of speech in the UK. You want to ban guns, knives, and now you want to ban video games. Way to go. Way to go, UK. You really love just banning shit. It creates to addict. It's created to addict. An addiction that keeps you in front of a computer for as long as possible, the Prince said Thursday. It's also irresponsible. Yeah, so what about being addicted to your point of view? How about that? What about your stupid fucking, you should ban it. Video games are addicting. This is why video games get the short end of the stick, because people think just looking at a screen is a bad thing. Motherfucker, how about we ban your goddamn cell phone service? How about that? You're addicted to your cell phone? Fuck you. The free-to-play Fortnite made by video, okay, is a multiplayer battle royale. The players, okay, the game launched, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's just go back to, but the massively, it also concerns the game is addictive. No fucking shit. Is that what you said? So is Minecraft. Such complaints coming from everyone that their parents, spouses, and employers, even the World Health Organization, weighed in on the issue of addictive video games last summer. It's just so much easy to fund all this to go into why video games are bad. How about why video games are good? How about you fucking stop going one-sided, you stupid buttheads? Prince Harry previously expressed his Fortnite concerns in October when he reportedly told a group of 8-year-old UK students that they shouldn't really play Fortnite at their age. Oh yeah? What should they play? Besides going outside, what else should they play? What other games should they play? Oh, look, the Duke of Sussex has talked openly about playing video games, and he even drew more criticism in 2013 for seemingly comparing his role in the military as co-pilot of the Apache helicopter to using a video game controller. It's joy for me because I'm one of those people who loves playing PlayStation and Xbox, so with my thumbs I like to think I'm probably quite useful, he told the Telegraph about manning the helicopter's weapons in 2013. Okay. So you just don't like Fortnite, so you want it banned. Probably because you suck at it. Meanwhile, Prince Harry also has concerns about the addictive potential of social media. It's more addictive, which the Duke of Sussex says is more addicted than alcohol and drugs. Oh! Is it really more addicted? Have you even done heroin? Oh, okay. All right. When it's oh god, it's more addicted than alcohol and drugs. Yes, because so many more people have died from video games. And don't even correlate that shit with gun shootings and shit. Please. When people go into a club and they scream some type of religious fantasy and then start shooting up people, yeah, it's definitely from video games, right? So just, no. Video games are not the cause. They are the effect, people. There have been timeless amounts of research put into this. And for some reason, people just like bringing up the past, and it keeps being talked about. You can just look it up online of why video games don't correlate to video game violence. Sure, it can make people a little aggressive because if they die in a game, it'll piss you off and everything. But listen, the person playing the game originally, before they even started playing games, was already fucked up to begin with. Okay, for about the most part. Okay, so and And don't even compare it to alcohol and drugs. Have you ever seen someone addicted to alcohol? It's fucking ridiculously scary. Okay, have you seen? You know what the worst kind of withdrawals are? It's alcohol withdrawals. People become fucking monsters from that shit. And you're saying that social media is even worse? Well, maybe if you're just watching CNN, then yeah, I understand that. Or listening to the people that just bitch about fake, that they put up news articles that are fake news. That I understand too. That is poison. I get that, but physical substances are going to be a lot more detrimental to your health. Alcohol and drugs. Okay, Prince Harry. I mean, maybe living as a pretty boy hasn't really been your strong suit, and maybe you shouldn't go into politics at all. I don't even know how you're in this position. Oh yeah, by birth. Way to go, UK. You still live in the past of hierarchy, of a caste system. Despite the comment, Prince Harry and Markle recently launched their own official Instagram page for the House of Sussex. So you complain about banning a game because it's addicting, but yet you post an Instagram page for yourself to show how addicted you are to the page yourself. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you guys are just talking out of your fucking ass. So anyway, folks, let me know what you think about that. Prince Harry is... Oh, God. There's a reason why he's not a king yet. Oh, it's my age, Nico. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. He wouldn't be a good king anyway because he just want to ban everything. Okay, anyway. Yeah, and Fortnite has been the typical discussion of, oh, my son is addicted to Fortnite. Oh, my God. Why is it Fortnite? You know why? Because it has guns in it. I bet you anything because it has guns in it. Because guess what? Were people really, correct me if I'm wrong, were people really bitching about Minecraft, how addicting that was? No, every person I know hasn't been bitching about Minecraft and how it's addicting. No, it's fine because they're just using, they're hitting blocks and they have swords, but there's no guns in it. I swear to you, if Fortnite didn't have guns in it, people wouldn't bitch as much. They would not bitch as much about it. But because Fortnite is such a monopoly of a fucking game, it's such an icon these days. It's on the same level as Minecraft, believe it or not, because of how much money it's made so far. But when parents and that don't understand, that don't play video games, or they just don't want to try to understand because they're just little fucking plebs that just bitch, and they just want things to go, they just want things to disappear. Well, two fucking bad people. This is on you. You're the one with the damn problem that complains about the same shit over and over and over again. You need to stop. You just need to let go and get the stick out of your ass. Oh, Nico, it's a little too harsh. Well, good. I'm glad it's harsh, because it's not fair for us gamers to have to be put up against this invisible enemy that these dumbasses decide to come up out of their ass, these ideas, who for themselves, who said they play video games and it's fun, but they want this particular game to be banned because they think it's addicting. When you're the one that's playing a video game to begin with, and you're addicted to video games and social media yourself, and then you have the balls to compare social media, saying it's more dangerous than drugs and alcohol. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Stupid. Anyway, I guess the internet is a roofie, and you're just gonna get so blacked out from it that you're gonna get raped from the internet. You're gonna get raped from the internet. Oh, Nico, you took it too far. Yeah, well, that's how people compare social media. Okay, they compare it to being virtually raped, bullied. I mean, cyberbullying is a real thing, but but they compare it on the levels as drugs and alcohol, which drugs and alcohol can lead to all the worst things possible that can happen to your body and everyone around you. But anyway, folks, I ended it on a controversial note, but that's just what makes the NIKO show so great, because I'm not censored, unlike the UK with its freedom of speech, bans of knives and guns, and now video games. Way to go, guys. Anyway, if you did enjoy what you saw today, folks, please follow me on the Twitch channel and check out the YouTube channel as well. Check out those Let's Plays if you can. It'd be really, really big help. Anyway, it's been my pleasure. And like I said, sorry about this 3-week gap. Hopefully that changes. I will make better efforts since I have more days off from the hospital now. I can do this. Oh yeah, I only work 3 days at the hospital now, 10-hour shifts, and then the rest of my week is 4 days off from there, and so I can do the other job, personal training. But I definitely have more free time now, nonetheless, because I'm not 10 hours personal training each day. Oh God. Anyway, thanks again, folks. Signing out.